Good morning, everyone, and welcome to S5U. I'm Kate Drake, and I'll be your host today. We're going to be talking about some strategies for building your brand on Twitter. So thanks to everybody who toughed it out for these last few days of work before the holiday. Hopefully we can provide some entertainment for you this morning, and we'll get through this relatively quickly. But there's, of course, all sorts of opportunities for you to ask questions and everything, so feel free to holler if you have a question. If you don't have time to type out your question, or if I'm going too fast, go ahead and raise your hand, or just shoot me something in either the Q&A box or in the chat, and I'll wait for you. So I don't want anybody to miss out on the opportunity to ask any questions that you may have. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and jump right in. Again, kind of a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about. So basic stuff for Twitter today. We're going to talk about the Twitter terminology, which is a little bit different. Each social media medium platform has its own unique set of ways that we talk about it. We're going to talk also about how to optimize your profile, a couple of strategies for gaining some followers, and then also taking advantage of those Twitter trends, which are really popular on Twitter, and one of the main reasons that it's become such a powerful social medium. So have you ever sat there and wondered what people are talking about when they use this pound sign or the @ sign, or things like RT or things like that? A lot of those are unique to Twitter terms that you need to know. So quick little tutorial on those. We'll kind of go over them. So a tweet is the first one. And basically this is any post on Twitter. It's referred to as a tweet. These are supposed to be no more than 140 characters long. That's the character limit on Twitter. Now, if a tweet has been shared from someone else's profile, you'll sometimes see a little abbreviation that says RT, which means that the content has been retweeted. And the reason you would do that is that you don't want people to think it's your original thought when it's something that you're sharing from someone else. Now, there's also a retweet button that you can use, and it will mark that as a retweeted item. Now, the 140 characters, there's a little room to play around with in that things like Twitter is not counting things like if you have a photo or a link to an article or something like that, that sometimes will count in the 140 characters. But if you're tagging a person, that won't count, and things like that. So your hashtags and stuff like that will count, but some of these other things won't. So play around with it a little bit, and Twitter will tell you if you've gone over the limit or not. Now, a hashtag is one of the most important things to understand about Twitter. These are symbols, and they're kind of the secret ingredient of trending on Twitter. They're used to categorize the content and make it easier for people to find topics that they're interested in. I always like to think about a hashtag as the Dewey Decimal System of the Twitter library, right? Have you guys been to the library and you see all the books lined up on the shelves and they have the little Dewey Decimal number on the spine, right? You can't find a book in the library without that Dewey Decimal number. If it doesn't have one, it could be sitting there on the shelf, but you wouldn't know where it was. You wouldn't know how to find it. And so that's how I like to think of a hashtag. You put a hashtag on a tweet, and that helps people find it. So, if you're tweeting about insurance or something, you're going to want to put a hashtag of insurance on there. Or if you're tweeting about an event, you want to put, Super Bowl, something like that, okay? And then you've also got the @ sign on Twitter. And this is the symbol that you use to target individuals on Twitter, and it allows your content to show up on their Twitter feed. So if you wanted to reach me on Twitter, my Twitter handle, we call it that sometimes, is @Kate Drake, but it's K8 Drake, okay? Because Kate Drake normally was taken. So if you wanted to send me a tweet directly to me, you would say @Kate Drake, and then tweet me whatever you wanted, right? So you can do this either to reply to people or to send them information or whatever you may want to do that way. So let's talk a little bit about optimizing your profile once you're on Twitter, because to make the most of this strategy, you really want to get that developed and have a complete profile. The keywords and data that you use in this profile are going to make you more searchable online. So you're going to want to log into your Twitter account just by going to twitter.com. And again, you can do this on mobile if you want to. I always like to do things with your profile on a laptop or a desktop. It's just a little bit easier versus on mobile, but you certainly can do it that way. So you'll be asked to enter your username and your password. So pop those in and then click on your profile, which is located on the left-hand side of your screen, right over here. Once you click on that, your profile page will appear, your home page. And here you'll be able to make any changes that you want to your profile. Now, Twitter is a little different than some of the other social mediums that we deal with in that it has a very abbreviated profile. You don't have a lot of options on things that you can change. So if you want to edit your profile, you can see that little button up there on the right-hand side that the hand is pointing to. You go ahead and click on that, and that'll allow you to change your profile photo. You can change your header photo that's in the background. And then you've got these couple of lines here that you can fill out. You can put in your business description, which it usually lets you have about 3 lines of text, your location, and your website address. So if you want to fill all of those out, you know, to the best of your ability, it's kind of nice because it's different than Facebook, where, you know, like Facebook has this huge long profile that you can fill out with a short company description, a long company description, the history of your company, all kinds of stuff. On the one hand, that's really great to be able to have that nice amount of information, right? But Twitter is really nice on the other hand because it's a lot easier to fill out and have a complete profile. So if you haven't done that yet, I'd really encourage you to do so. Hop on and fill that out. It just takes a couple of minutes. And then if you want to change out your photos or anything like that, you can too. Now, obviously, if you've got an account with us, we have designed these for you, and we've got background images and profile photos that meet Twitter's size requirements. So if you want to change those up, just be careful. You know, you're more than welcome to. Just be careful that it's a good fit and you're not stretching your photo funny or anything like that. So let's talk a little bit about how to gain some followers on Twitter. Because obviously, you know, if you're just posting on Twitter but nobody's following you, your stuff isn't going to be getting out there to your audience. So an important role is building a following here. So some of the things that we suggest doing, it kind of requires some social networking and some legwork on your part, but it's kind of fun. So the first thing you need to do is find your audience. And the best way to do this is by searching on Twitter for people like your competitors or trade organizations, attractions in your city, any other place like that that your audience may reside. So if you know that a lot of people who, you know, search for your product, search for some other product too, or you know you have a really big direct competitor that you want to go up against, find those places and on Twitter, and we're going to talk about how you can kind of piggyback off of their audience too. So again, the search bar is just right up there at the top, and you can either search by a hashtag or a business name, city name, whatever you may want to do that way. So once you've identified your competitor, or the trade organization or city attraction or whatever it may be, click on their followers, which is going to be right here. This is a chain of Mexican restaurants that's really popular here in Utah. And so if I was a competing Mexican restaurant, I could go over here and look at their followers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at their list of followers that's pulled up here on the right. And I'm going to go ahead and follow a bunch of them. Each time I click follow, that individual will receive an email letting them know that I've followed them from my business. And some of them are going to convert over and follow me back, because the idea being that if they like Cafe Rio Mexican food, they'll like my Mexican food too, right? That's kind of the plan there is, you know, oh, well, here's Cafe Rio's direct competitor. Let's see which one, you know, maybe someone has a better daily special or something like that, right? So if they're interested in Mexican food, chances are they're going to be interested in both of you. That's kind of the idea there. Oh, and you can see that's where the follow button is. So you just go ahead and click on that and you'll start following that person, and hopefully they'll follow you back. You know, another thing that you can do on Twitter is take advantage of the trends that are happening. And this is really important because it will help increase the virality of your page. So what you want to do is look for opportunities to incorporate these trending hashtags into the tweets that you're doing. And these are going to be found in the lower left-hand side of your page. You can see them down over here on the profile, and then over, we kind of pull them out here. So these are the things that were trending the day we took this screenshot. It's a little outdated, but you know, so don't use these today, but you can go and check. They're going to be changing every day. what's trending. So go look at what's trending today, see if there's something that fits in with your business, and go ahead and put out a tweet about it. Obviously, there's probably a lot of stuff about the holidays right now. You know, the election was really big. And then there's always just random things that are trending on Twitter. Don't try to force it. You know, you don't want to make it awkward or anything, and you don't want to hop on every single trending tweet or trending hashtag that's out there and tweet about it. But, you know, if it's something that's a good fit for you, go ahead and hop on, or you have something funny or insightful to say about it, please hop on and add it for you. Now, we also do here at Social 5, we do what we call industry hashtags, where we're going to be using hashtags on all the tweets that we do for you that are going to be things that are standard for your industry. So if you're, you know, a real estate agent or something, we're going to have a set of real estate hashtags that we use depending on what we're tweeting about that will make it easier to search for it that way. By default, Twitter is going to display the national trends for the entire United States. Now, you can change that if you want, if you're more of a local business, and you can pick, there's a change button right there up next to the trends. You just click on that change button and it will pull up some options for you. Now, it's going to pull up the major metropolitan locations. So here I am in Draper, Utah. It doesn't pull up Draper as an option. It pulls up Salt Lake City because I'm in a suburb of Salt Lake, right? And then it pulls up the other areas that are nearby. So Las Vegas, Denver, Albuquerque. These are all the major metro areas in my area. So if you're in kind of a rural area, you kind of need to just pick the biggest metropolitan area nearby. So your city might not always be listed on there, but you know, it's still gives you a good idea of what's happening in your area. And you can kind of go with your specific geography that way. Now, obviously, that's going to be really beneficial if you're a local business. If you're more of an online business, you probably want to stick with the national trends if you're selling to people all over the country. All right. Well, that's all I have for today. Does anybody have any questions before we head out? You can put those in either in the Q&A or in the chat box. Anything? Well, this is just the very most basic introduction to Twitter, but there are a lot of other things going on there. They've recently unveiled Twitter advertising that is a pretty cool tool, and some other things like that. And we'll be talking about those in more depth in other sessions of S5U as we go along. So feel free to give us a holler if you have any questions. You can always reach us at content@social5.com if you have ideas for what you would like us to be tweeting about for you, or if you want to put together a tweet of your own and you need some help. Send us an email and we're happy to help you out. All right, well, I'll see you guys all in a couple of weeks. Have a happy new year and a great holiday. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye.